Hello guys. So in this video I'd like to share with you some perspective on patience because this has been a topic that has always in some way been relevant, but I've also haven't fully grasped it or was resisting it, and recently I've been coming to more deeper integration and understanding, and so I'd like to share with you some thoughts on that, which can hopefully help to give a broader understanding of how patience can be understood, and also to give some, practical tools on how to really implement it so that patience becomes a direct experience, something that enriches your experience and gives more flow back to your life instead of it just being a concept in your mind. So what I'm just seeing, and I'm sure you've noticed that as well, as many people talk about it and we hear this advice from others, and we have given ourselves this advice probably to others to just be patient, and on some level we get that it's relevant, that it's valuable. But what you can also notice is that as most people talk about it, there is this element of time that you can feel, as if patience is about waiting, like just passively waiting until magically this thing that we are, whatever it is that we are impatient about, just doesn't appear, or it doesn't bother us anymore. And so I'm going to speak about patience within the context of self-transformation and self-awakening, but ultimately it does apply to everything. So how I understand patience is that it's not just to say, okay, I'll be patient and then basically lean back and wait, but rather it is there's a few things here. It is about self-acceptance, or the acceptance of this particular pattern. Like, let's say, for example, there is this pattern that just comes along, or you find yourself indulging on or reenacting for a gazillion times, and at least I've noticed within myself, then impatience can come along, and this sense of frustration and like feeling very righteous about why it shouldn't be there, why it doesn't need to happen, why it shouldn't happen, or why I should have acted in different ways. And obviously this energy only perpetuates the pattern. So when we bring in patience, what we really bring in is acceptance. We open our hearts. At least that's how I'm feeling it. It's like a life trying to expand itself, expand us through this pattern, by, instead of judging it and instead of just saying, well, I'll just wait, it is to really open our hearts and be like, okay, I'm going to humble myself to my personal ideas about why I believe it should be different or could be different. And even though those reasonings can be very legitimate and can make a lot of sense logically, yet they are still a personal idea. And so when we allow ourselves to release that and open our hearts instead, then this love can just flow in that pattern. And in that moment, in that act of humility and openness and forgiveness, acceptance, you'll see that the whole charge, the whole constrictive, conflictive, tension energy just starts to melt away. And we notice that actually it is totally fine. Because ultimately we are not the pattern anyway. And so what I found is that also this approach also helps to, it's infusing the process of self-realization, because with that there comes also this reminding that whatever appearance comes along, it's not me anyway, because look, I am this which observes, which knows, which feels, which is part of the experience, but also is not entangled, is not confined within that experience. So this would be my suggestion. I'm very curious how this lands for you, and if you find this working for you, or perhaps you found another method that works really great for you, then I would love to hear it. And so, yeah, looking forward to that, and see you in the next moment. Peace.